facilitator. I'm just passing the torch. That is all. Let me center me because you know I'm cute. Cute. Hey,
Hey, what's going on?
how are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. Again, I apologize for being so fashionably late.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm like in a transition right now, so I was focused on being Amelia the Builder today, as opposed to like focusing in on what I needed to. But everything got done, so I'm here with you, and we're about to get into some spiritual conversation. So I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself. You can do it a lot better than me and how you want us to receive you. So you have the floor. It is all yours, sir.
Hey, so what's going on, everybody? My name is Damon Alvarez, aka Mr. Soulofaman504. I am an author. I am a writer. I am just a creative-minded individual. I also do spiritual life coaching. I do Oracle Tarot. I get with my ancestors so we could get with your ancestors, so we can touch with God, and so we can touch with your angel guides and whoever else you rock with in a spiritual sense. And I also have a holistic candle business called Inspired Scents, and that's with Miss TJ Inspires. We do candles, wax melts, and all of that good stuff. And so so I do I do a few things.
Ooh, a jack of many trades, a demand of many trades. I love it. I was very, 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 very excited when you had reached out to me after the first episode, I think it was, right? With Rebel.
Yeah.
It could have been before, but my memory is so off sometimes. Um, because I myself struggled with spirituality for a long time because of the way that I was reared, I would say. It was more of a negative thing, that it was more negative how it was presented to me. But as I grew older and experienced life on my own and was able to introduce myself to different ways of living, I would say, because this is a lifestyle choice, spirituality was more at the forefront. Yes, I was still attending churches, but I just didn't feel, I don't want to say feel comfortable, but I just didn't feel like that was where I needed to be, as opposed to if I'm home meditating, or I'll say something out of the box, out of a church, out of an institution. I felt more at home in learning more about my ancestors and learning more about my spiritual guides and who they are, and how I could get more in touch with them and lead a peaceful, still sanctified life, but on my terms, in my own way. So yeah, so I wanted to bring you on to more, give us a more glimpse into spirituality and what it means to you, and how you go about reading tarots and being a spiritual guide, and so on and so forth.
Well,
That
one
was a
thing
lot.
so yeah, and let me just say, thanks for having me. If you are a mom, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. So let me just start out by saying, when people, especially more of let's just say Black folks,
Yes.
when we look at spirituality, it's been deemed as something evil. But to me, it is like knocking out another wall in your house and expanding. My thing is, I didn't, I still rock with God. I still pray every day. I still, Jesus and my angel guides, they're still there. I've just
Mm-hmm.
added, I've just added something, I just added something new, as far as my, as far as my ancestors go. And so, the spiritual journey is more of one of the soul when you are when you're naturally on a walk by yourself. It's not necessarily that you're by yourself, but whatever church that you went, Catholic, Episcopalian, Seventh-day Adventist, Baptist, Christian. It's all under
Mm-hmm.
one umbrella. So you have more questions than they can give. You may have gifts that they may say, well, I don't know, only the pastors or
Yeah.
the first lady is supposed to be able to touch people. Only they are supposed to be able to, have a one-on-one. You're in. God is always there. God is for, God is for all of us. God has many different names. So your spiritual journey is it's definitely going to be unique to you. You just open yourself up more, to your ancestors, and those are just your past relatives, and I'm not just saying like 1, 2, 3 generations. We're talking about thousands of years. So you may start seeing things. You may start seeing things in your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You may start getting revelations going through the day. You may be able to read people. You may get interested in you may get interested in crystals,
Mm-hmm.
or a tarot deck, or different forms of divination, um, that people will say, oh man, that's bad. That's of the devil. So
Mm-hmm.
I would counter that and say, well, so when you look at so if you're whoever, somebody, your uncle, you're close to him, he was God fearing, you believe he went to heaven. So you're saying that if I set up an altar, or if I still feel my uncle's love in a sense, even though they're, they used to say in the church, absent from the body, present with the Lord. So
Well,
my
mm-hmm.
uncle, who may be now an angel, and he's there with me, and he's walking with me to protect me. So y'all saying that he's evil now? It don't. I'm not all of your ancestors are good. If they if they left here, if they lived a crazy life, that's gonna probably continue on the other side. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's not all it's not all loving. It's not all loving. Like there's there's within sometimes we have to sometimes we have to dance sometimes we have to be covered and dance in the darkness to find a light. And that light a lot of times is going to be within us, whatever that naturally is, that's going to spark you, or spark that brainchild to naturally keep you going, in your life. So to me, it's not, and everybody's spiritual journey is going to be a little different. You
Mm-hmm.
may find yourself, getting initiated, into Ifa, Lakumbe, and all, voodoo, and all of these different things. And, we've been told that, well, man, that's even, even if you're, Christian, my challenge to you is to tap into the fullness of that. You need the Holy Spirit, you need God, you need Jesus, you need your angel guides. I'm just telling
Mm-hmm.
you to tap into the fullness of that power, which you need. We need that. If you tell God, hey, like, Lord, I need you. That is that. To me, the relationship gets stronger
Mm-hmm.
once I go away. What does the Bible say to train up a child, and to honor thy mother and thy father, and all of that good stuff. And if you're continuing to do that, and once you walk away, you continue to grow, and you continue to strengthen yourself. It is almost, it's like it says, in thy business be mean. So you have to be very strong, and you have to be very consecrated in who you are, and in your walk. So it's just that you're walking now with more power, and you're
Mm-hmm.
walking with the ability to have more, to have more, because we need to get our heaven on earth while we're down here. Yeah, if
Absolutely.
you believe in heaven, if you want to cross over, you want to get your angel wings. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to some kind of form of paradise if you struggle down here your whole life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, so the important thing is, on your spiritual journey, and to me, a lot of the spiritual journey is the journey of the self. So you're self discovering things that, or you're rediscovering things that, were that you were told, the things that go bump in the night and X, Y, Z. And when you turn the light on, you see the beauty, you see the power,
Mm-hmm.
that is not just, when you look at your ancestors, that is like, it's almost like looking in a mirror. You see a self reflection of them and you and them,
Mm-hmm.
so it goes hand in hand, whether you are, just talking to them in your dreams, whether you're talking to them going through the day, or you're, doing work out in nature, or if you have an ancestral altar. So, but the spiritual journey, the spiritual journey is, I believe it's a journey of more getting into the find of who you are and where you're going, in your life, and you're just adding more to it, as you walk, as I tell people, as you walk down, your yellow brick road.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. Me personally, I can only speak for myself. And just to tap into what you have just said, spirituality is definitely a journey of self, tapping into self, and you're gonna get like a lot of the ugly. I could tell you, I've never the things that I've discovered about myself, or I guess you could say rediscovered, as you had mentioned, I did not like, I still don't like, but I have to love myself regardless of that. And because of this journey, I learned unconditional love, and I unconditionally love myself. And because of that, I can project that. And then also, I'm learning how to receive that unconditional love as
Mm-hmm.
well, or even be able to identify it. Um, and to go along with the negative aspect of it, I just wish us as a Black community can open up our minds to more. We can kick open a wall and have an open concept, first floor of our house, if this is what we're building, within ourselves on our spiritual journey. Because I'm telling you, the less we see the negative of something, the more we can apply the positive and actually be able to see the positivity in something that can help us to grow within ourselves and as a people, as a community. And it's something that needs to be spoken about. And I'm glad that I have you here to even just dive into that, even if it's just the basics, you know what I'm saying? Because um, the community definitely needs to make a lot of forward movements and no more backsliding because of this is what the Bible says. Not saying, not to say that the Bible is wrong. It's not at all, but I feel like it's situational. And a lot of us are facing situations in our lives that we just need more to be able to get ourselves up out of it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You can pray to God and say, God, watch over me, over my life. But your ancestors are there to put in the footwork. So
Yeah,
they're there to help you to move along in each and every day. Like people, like I've been told, they're there. And again, it's love and it's respect. That's what
absolutely.
I've come to find out, whether you are dealing with an ancestor, whether you are dealing with, a higher deity, the Orisha, once you start, and I'm getting into the part of my story, where I'm delving more and finding out, who, where my ancestors were from and
Hmm.
what they were into. And, once you do that, you find out more about yourself, like, okay, this is why I think this way. This is why I move this way. This
Hmm.
is why, I may be so against, a 9 to 5 every day, because something in me feels like this just ain't right, man.
Yeah,
you know, and a lot, and we think, while we're on, we think, we think while we're going through certain things that we're the only people or only person in the world that's ever been through it. You know, that's the thing, because it can be so, like, you know, you feel
Boxed in.
yeah, it's a shock to the system when things
Yeah.
happen, and you're like, man, I don't know, how much, no matter what it is, I mean, no matter what it is, like,
Mm-hmm.
somebody out there has, has gone through it. But, I always say this about, us as humans on this planet Earth, that, we live on the same planet, but we live in our own separate worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel within that, you don't have to be lonely. You don't have to feel like, man, sometimes some things you do have to go through, alone initially,
Yeah.
but because you have to learn that lesson, but you don't have to go through everything, alone. And that's why, and that's where, that's where you're, as, people say spirit as an all encompassing thing, but, you can break it down, your, your angel guides, or your ancestors, or, whoever else, however else that you go. And if you feel, um, and if you feel like, man, you know what, I feel like I'm being called to go down this path, explore it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research, do your due diligence. So, like, for myself, and I always tell people, always pay attention to the signs. Like, I've been seeing these random numbers like crazy.
Angel
I
numbers.
call, yeah, like these. You call them angel numbers. You might see 111, 333, 444, 1111, 555. I call them. I look at it like, I just call them, angelic area codes. That's just
Mm-hmm.
telling you. That's just, that is their way of telling us that, like, there's more to come. You got a little bit more work to do. Everything's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
okay. you're about to come through a major milestone in your life, through everything that through everything that you've been going through. Your hard work is about to, pay off. But I think, in hindsight, we all want to know that it's going to, that it's naturally just going to be okay. No matter what it is, in the heart of the matter, because, a lot of us, we're just getting started in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is, our spiritual, it is our spiritual evolution, leading to our spiritual revolution. So,
Absolutely.
we have to learn how to, because a lot of us feel like we don't have a dog in the fight, each and every day, like, oh, but I got to go to this job again.
Mm-hmm.
This man or this lady tell me one more thing, it's on. So we have to be, so, we have to just be able to use our, we have to be able to use our discernment. There's a lot of things, and just for everybody, but especially us, more as, I would say, more of melanated people, children of the diaspora. However, you paint yourself as Black, Indigenous, African American, however, whatever name you want to paint, for yourself and for your lineage, that helps you to go to sleep at night. But,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of, that, we have to learn how to, like they did with the Haitian Revolution. And, you can look at Haiti and say whatever you want to about it, but they were able to, beat the French and the British, and, and defend their island. So, while you're walking through life, you have to just be able to, you have to be able to just discern certain things, and just be able to, just be able to walk through certain things, and this is like, this is a daily grind. This is a daily grind. So it is not for the faint of heart. And, everybody, and I get it. Everybody's not going to vibe with it. So, and if it's not for you, that's cool, but, whatever works for you, even if I tell people, if you do nothing but just believe in yourself, the faith in yourself, or the faith in you and your journey, is so very much important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just getting up every day for people is hard, because of the life, because of the life they live. And believe me, listen, I understand it. I've been down that road. I fought through the Katrinas, and, in XYZ. So I've lost, I've gained, I've lost, and I've gained. But
Mm-hmm.
I continue to grow, and I continue to push through.
Absolutely. And you can't stop, because once you stop, that's, to me, that'll be the end. Once you stop moving and once you stop, excelling and progressing onto the next level in your life and your journey. Um, I want you, I need your help actually in tapping into divination again with the signs. I know a lot of people who are watching, including myself. Many years ago, I would see signs like 1111, but to me, that was like, oh, make a wish. I didn't really understand what 1111 really meant. Then, as I got older and started tapping more into self, me, and creating my own, I like to call it a utopia here on earth, because I haven't yet gone 6 feet deep. So I don't know what's on the other side. I anticipate it will be good, but I at least want to have a good starting point. Though a lot of things happen and circumstances do occur where, it seems dark, but I still try to create, again, a place where I am at peace and I'm happy. Um, Hence my quick transition that I've been doing these past couple weeks. But anyway, the angelic zip area codes, you call them, right? Would
Hmm.
pop up for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, 777. All right, what does that mean? Then you go and you Google, okay, because Google's my best friend. You get all these different renditions and
Yeah, yeah,
definitions
and
of,
that's more of like a baseline understanding of it. Numerology, and I'm not, here, I'm not trying to misinterpret or misrepresent
right.
anything. That's its own like art form. That's its own study, and that can fall under like astrology.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the stuff is deep. It goes into like the different, the 12 houses of astrology, which house you're under. And, like you may
Yeah.
say, yeah, yeah. So it goes, and man, it's like a whole, like, it's like a whole, you could get like I had a chart done like years ago, and I just looked at it. And even some of the stuff I look at, I'm like, okay, well that resonates, and I still need, I don't, I don't delve into everything. I'm not, if somebody just say, well, hey, what's your sign? I'll just say Taurus.
Right.
And other people, they're
What's your
like,
rising? What's your
yeah, I'm a
moon?
sun this and a Leo that and a moon and this
Yeah.
and the planets are that, and I'm like, okay.
I'm like, thank you for the information, but I appreciate my sister, because she gets into it. It's not that she has the time for it, but that's her ministry, I call it, because she
Right.
understands it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would see these signs, and I'm just like, all right. And the culture that I come from, my mom is from Honduras, so that falls under the Latinx umbrella, right? Growing up, we would always light candles for different things.
Hmm.
And we would have also, well, not we. My mom would always have a place where she would put, um, like my grandfather who passed away. Anyone who passed away, there would be a picture there. And we'll light candles on birthdays or anniversaries of their passings, or especially with myself, when I get really, really sick, my mom will light a candle and ask for assistance and
Right.
intercession. Um, so I started tapping into that, but I was like, wait a minute. What am I asking my grandfather or my great grandmother? How am I going to ask them? What rituals am I going to take part in that is comfortable to me? This is a huge, that word comfort is huge for me when it comes to tapping in to me and into my spirituality, because I can't do anything that I'm uncomfortable doing. So if
Hmm.
I was ever to be uncomfortable lighting a candle, I'm not gonna do that. And this is for anybody who's watching as well. If you're not comfortable with it, I just don't do it. um, because I feel like if you're uncomfortable, then it's disrespectful, because you're gonna start doing things in different ways that it's you're not paying homage, you're not paying ode, you're just doing it because you think that this is gonna get you to a different level. Whereas it's a team effort. You guys gotta do it together. Though they're in a different, a
Right.
different
And so,
space.
right. And, and when you're burning, you can, like the white candle is basically, neutral. You
Yeah.
can use it for everything. You can, use some herbs, dress it up, make it look a little pretty there,
Some
green candles.
flowers.
Right, green candles are for money and all of that good stuff. But as far as working with your ancestors, setting up that ancestor altar. I remember in church, they would have like this little wooden table, and it would say, this is doing remembrance of me. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're remembering Jesus, and we're remembering Jesus, and what does it say? Like to eat of my flesh and the breaking of the bread, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. So that's what you're doing. You're venerating your ancestors. Even if you're asking them, okay, well, this ancestor was great with money. This ancestor was a protector of the family. So we remember these things. Or if you
Right.
don't know, you ask. You can
Yeah.
ask. Hopefully you have people in your family that's still around. You can ask them. Okay, well, what was this ancestor good at? Or what were they basically known? What did they like?
Mm-hmm.
They would they would drink this kind of wine, or they would
Yeah.
they would drink this, or they would smoke. They would smoke this kind of these kind of cigars, or
Mm-hmm.
cigarettes, or whatever. So they like this kind of candy. So
Mm-hmm.
you will put that, you have a picture, you will put that, right there by their spot, on the altar,
Okay.
just to show love to them, by burning the candle. It's giving them light to do the work that they need to do, and to
Mm-hmm.
continue to come around you and to show love, and all that good stuff.
Right, because it's like I said, it's a team effort. You want to make the other person who's on your team feel comfortable and invited and welcome, as you would want to feel comfortable, invited, and welcome to their realm, to their space, because you're asking them for help. They're not asking you for help.
Hmm.
The shoe is now on the other foot. Um, but I think I think it's beautiful. I mean, to be able to connect to your ancestors on a different level, not even in times of pain and strife, but also when you're up and you're happy, you give thanks to them too for bringing you along. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a relationship, and a relationship should be constant. This is not, oh, I'm gonna talk to you on Monday and Tuesday. No, this is an every single day thing, and it all should be a testament to the relationships that we have here on earth as well, and how much respect and love we show to those who um essentially make us who we are, or whom we allow to make us who we are, who we allow into our spaces, on a positive note, not on, when you see red flags, of course you got to say, I'm good, because that's on in any relationship, no matter in a different realm or here on earth with us right now.
Right. That's very true. It's important, to keep those lines of communication open. And a lot of times, people would see things in their dreams. You might get ancestors who might just pop through, and you may
Mm-hmm.
not, like, well, that was weird. Well, who was
Right.
that? And if you are, like what people would say, lucid dreaming, or or spirit walking, astral projection, however you want to, however, and I've heard some stories. I've heard stories that are probably like really freak people out. Like there was this, as far as astral projecting, there was this. I think this was in Louisiana. So there was this young lady's boyfriend. He was up at night, and so the girlfriend. She was in bed, and so he gets up to walk into the room, and so
Mm-hmm.
he sees her in the room, and she's and she's still in bed. Now, these are, as people say, like, these are things that you would probably see. This would like freak anybody out.
Right, right.
Like like the normal person and whatever. And I've seen my ancestors, like walking around and whatever. But I'm kind of used to that, and
Right.
if they're there or whatever, if I feel their energy or see them, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what's the message? What's going
Mm-hmm.
on? I mean, sorry, I didn't clean up.
Right.
You know,
Ah.
like, look, I'll just, you just popped in, man. I was just chilling today.
Mhm.
So yeah, so as and and of course, you have to be careful with this. I'm not, we're not here telling people, oh, do what you see
Yeah.
in those horror movies with, with, I don't know, those crazy movies with those white folks and go grab a weed. No, 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 no. We're not saying that. We're just saying that, like you said, stay stay where your comfort level is, and if your comfort level is prayer and and that's it, or if your comfort level is lighting a candle, maybe every once in a while,
Yeah.
it's there's going to be levels to it. That's the important thing, there's going to be levels to it, but 2020 moving into now, very, we're in immense new times as far as spirituality goes. And
Mhm.
there's once you, as people say, once you tap in, or once you continue to venerate with your ancestors, there's all kind of there are all kind of amazing things that you can do, just as far as prosperity, wisdom, protection, and
Mhm.
people always want to, or sometimes people want to talk, like the newer, the younger folks, they're, some of them are, they were like, hex this, hex that. I'm gonna put this person in a jar because they did this and they were lying, and
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't get, I don't delve too much into that, but I just feel like for everything that you did, especially when it comes to, when people say, the voodoo work and all of that stuff. And, that there's always something, I would say when you knock on a certain door, somebody's going to be, somebody's going to answer.
Mhm.
So you just have to really be careful in the doors that you're knocking on.
Mhm. Definitely be careful on the doors that you're knocking on, and any of the just like tapping into the hoodoo and the voodoo. There's always two sides to something. You always got the good and you got the bad, right? I
Mm-hmm.
always keep in mind that whatever bad you do, even good, there's gonna be repercussions for your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And the scary part about it, it's never going to affect. Well, not never. I don't want to say never. It's not going to be an immediate effect, and it might not even affect you, but it will affect those that come behind you. um, and another thing about the manifesting on breakthroughs, the cycles that we're trying to break now aren't even the cycles that we created. It's the cycles that our ancestors created. So it is our duty, if this is what we want to base our life on, the work that we want to do, especially for myself. I'll speak for myself. We got to tap into the wrongs that our ancestors have done so that we can right them, so that those that come after us won't have to deal with the issues that we're dealing with now. They'll have their own problems, but have a more insight into how they can go about fixing things correctly, effectively, um, than having to find themselves. Because I feel like I'm in a space now where I've spent a lot of time finding myself than actually doing any work. But even though that is productive, it just didn't seem like I was moving forward in the way that I wanted to.
Yeah, and I totally, I totally agree with that. And one thing people can do, like, just the small things, like people, you would say, knock on wood, for like for luck or whatever like that. And you can
Right.
do, you know so say if you're going for a job interview, or if you're trying to buy a house, or you can also do this with, like, well, I'll just stick with the knock on wood. You can go, and if you feel like, well, if you walk into a house and you're like, a real estate is showing it to you, you can knock on the wood and say, like, okay, ancestors, I want this. This is
This
for
is
me. This is
mine.
home. This is mine. So
Hmm.
you're speaking with power and reverence. Also, you can do it with, holy water, consecrate the house,
Hmm.
just speak it, as people would say, speaking it into existence. But, as you said, this is a journey of, this is naturally the journey of the self, and self-discovery. And, I'm not saying, you have to stay at home all day, burning candles and lighting incense, and you know, we still have to live. You know, we still have to live our life. You know,
Yeah.
we still have to live our life. You know, we still have, we still have things that we want to go. We still got to go out. You know, as the world opens up, slowly opens
Whew.
up. You know, we have to go. You know, we still have to go out. But as we go out, they still walk with us. They're still part of
Absolutely.
us. I always tell God, always like, keep your eye on me. Because like I said, there's a lot of things that we have to deal with out here. And although
Mm-hmm.
we feel like it's everybody's life is going to be a little different. We've all been hurt. We've all been loved, and
Mm-hmm.
whichever way you want to spin that, but that is a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. But, but, but the important thing is knowing that the awareness, for us, the awareness, the awareness needs to, really and truly, needs to pick up, because a lot of us walk around with our, a lot of us walk around in broad daylight with our eyes like wide
No.
shut,
Mm-hmm.
still oblivious of way. And it's not a game out here, it's not a game, and it is not, and this is the part where you talk to people and they just, they don't want to hear it
Yeah.
because things don't, things don't affect people until it happens to them personally, sad to say.
And
And
that'll be
and
too late.
yeah, and when it comes down to that, it's too late. You're unprepared. We're behind the if you're playing pool, weird, they are knocked in all the other balls and they on 8 ball, and so we're way behind the 8 ball as it is. But
Right.
there are shortcuts that we can do to to help us in our lives to get to where we need to get to. But I do feel like a lot of people are going to be, as far as the, getting into things that are going to bring money and prosperity, there's going to be a big jump, in real estate, as far as, they're just more like Black people, African Americans. You're going to see a lot of people, well, us, there you go. So look at Bali and things like that, like a lot of people doing tours down there, and not just Bali, but just really like all over the world. A lot of things are just really about to change.
Mm-hmm.
When we see these changes happen, and it's like, man, I can't believe that this is happening. So believe it.
Right.
Just like we saw, people not physically going to work anymore. We saw kids being homeschooled. Some people were like, man, you know what? I like this homeschool thing. It's good for me. It's good for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying working from home. So, it's, as a lot of people like to say, the paradigm shift. Things are shifting, things are moving.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, well, I wanted to go back to the way it, it's just, there's no going back to that. When those, and as I've learned in my life, when those doors close, you got to leave them shut. And when
Absolutely.
people, when people, these are amazing times of revelations where people are going to show you who they naturally are, and these are things that are, common or maybe uncommon in certain circumstances, but a lot of people have to see things happen like right before their eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the magic of it. That's the presto changer. That's the like if somebody's doing a card trick, that's the hand is quicker than the eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, is this your card? And it's the misdirect, and you're like, no, and then they go behind your ear, pull your card out, like, oh, is this your
Mm-hmm.
card? So that's how it works, and that's how from God to our ancestors, that's how it has to be done like that in divine order. Because if we saw it coming, and if we knew everything, we would get lazy and and all of this other stuff. So
Right.
but this is these are just great and amazing times for change that are going to be coming forward, and it goes from the spiritual into the natural. So
Mm-hmm.
we just have to be prepared, and we just have to be ready for it. And don't tell, we're not supposed to be down here to be suffering and not to have a lack. So
Mm-hmm.
this is where you start to act, you start to walk out boldly and to say, and of course, there are things in your life that you need to change. You know, that there are things that you're going to have to naturally give up, and we may not like it, but it's going to help you in the long run. And sometimes we're not doing this just for us, like you said, we're here to crush those generational curses that have been, over the family, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, the mental stuff, so we're here to, being in these poor, broken down neighborhoods, we're here to shatter that stuff, so we can, so we can leave something for those that come, for those that come after us.
Right. Because we don't want to be an extinct generation. We want to continue to grow. We want to delete all that has been holding us down, the weight. I always call it the weight of the world, the weight of our family. We don't realize it, but a lot of the reasons why most of us don't move forward is because something is holding us back. We may not be able to see it because it's not, it's not in front of us, but it could have been something that happened in the past that really shifted or made a shift within the way that we were reared, the way our moms love us, the way our fathers went about finding a job. Something happened somewhere. And I feel like it's up to us. If this is the path that you want to go down, it's up to us to right all those wrongs, to figure out what happened so that we could, make a shift. Even if it has to start with us, then so be it. It's not light work. This is this is some heavy business. But I feel like God doesn't give you more than you can bear. So for myself, again, if I'm seeing those signs, if I'm having my lucid dreams, something's up. I have to tap into that because things don't happen for a reason. And one thing that I've learned on my own journey, whether the mental health aspect of it or the physical health aspect of it, is I had to stop asking why and more of how, what, when. Like, how am I supposed to move forward? When should I stand firm? When is it going to happen? When is the shift going to happen? And what do I have to do? It goes in different orders, but for me, those are the questions that I have to ask. Because when you ask why, I feel like you open yourself up to too much disappointment because you never get the true answer. Like, we'll never know why, but we'll know where to be. We'll know what to wear. We'll know how long we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll get those answers, but we'll never get the why. So for me, and this goes with my relationships as well. When you ask why, the expectation is there, but the disappointment is even higher because you expect all of this. You have these standards, and then all of a sudden you just don't get it, and you're upset. You're disappointed. So to rid all of that, to avoid all of disappointment, stop asking why. Just stop. Stop, because you're wasting time. You might as well just keep moving. I love the like to have a friend that you call them up like, hey, such and such happened, and they're boom right there. They don't ask you any questions. They just show up. So I feel like we should just be that person for ourselves and for those around us. Show up. Stop asking why. Just show up and be readily prepared for whatever is faced when that door opens. You know what I'm saying? Because something is gonna come out.
Right, and that's the thing. It's just like if you're, it's just like if you're naturally baking a cake. It's all in the love and the timing that you put into it. You can't leave it. You have to. You need the right ingredients. You have to put it in there for a certain amount of time for it to come out to be just right. And once you do that, that's you, and that's you on your righteous path, living your life. Your big, strong, powerful self, and then the spiritual part is them putting the icing on the cake, them preparing everything else that you need. Like you said, you need when you need it. Sometimes we want to know it. We're not going to, that's the thing. I don't care which spiritual journey you go down. Nobody can see it all. I don't care who they are. Nobody can see it all. They can tell you little glimpses and this may happen in 3 months, but that's naturally dependent upon if you're going to continue to do it. Like if I tell you, hey, you're going to real estate, you're going to sell this many houses in a year, you're going to millionaire status, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't get your license, or if you don't, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do to gain that capital to start buying the land, the property, and all of that stuff, then That's on you. You can't, you can't put that, like you said, the why, we go into the why and we say like, we start to get into our minds. We start to backtrack. Instead of taking 10 steps forward up, we go way to the back of the line. And you're like, and if I don't know who's ever watching this, whenever you watch it, you're like me, I don't have time to go to the back of the line. If I have, now I have that discernment, now I have that discernment in me where I can, tell a better golden opportunity is right around the corner because of something that didn't happen, because of, oh man, I studied so hard for this test, I didn't pass it, the world's over. No, it's not. You just have to know and understand that you have something, you're purposeful, and that's where the magic is. And so you have something bigger and greater that's, that's right around the corner that you're being prepared for. It's not, it's not just one thing. It's, to be blessed is to have blessings coming into your life. So if you, like they said, if you want to be in that spirit, of overflow, if you want to, if you want to have, it's all in what you want in your life. Some people just say, well, I just want just enough to get me over. I'm good with that. Cool. If that's your thing, great. Some people, some people, want way more. It's just all in and where you are, and it's all in where you are. And sometimes I heard that, and I heard this morning, that, you have to go, you have to be ready to just go out there and fight and put it all out there on the table and all on the line. I'm not saying go and do nothing crazy. I'm just saying that whatever your situation is, whatever that situation is, like if you think little old you, and in your whatever situation, you have enough, you have everything that you need. That's the thing, with us, we feel like we always need more, for whatever the situation is, the battle is. The more comes in your ancestors, the more comes in God, the more comes in you believing in your higher self. And that is with you getting up and moving forward, and and putting that, the desired work in. The desire comes with the effect. So if the smaller the desire, probably the smaller the effect. If you have a greater desire, then greater things are going to come. But these are, as we crawl through it, like Dr. King said, if you can't crawl, then walk. If you can't walk, then run. But by all means, just keep moving. And that's the thing. We gotta, we have to keep moving. And then that's the, and that's the. But we have to move, with discernment, and we have to move in the right direction. Because a lot of us, we want to go back to something that's just not for us. And that's the thing. When those doors close, let them close, let them go. Burn out. Let whatever it is burn out. Let it go its own way. They say it comes in reasons, seasons, or it's going to be a lesson. So let it be what it's going to be. And get out of, and that's another thing. We have to be able to, we have to get out of our own way. You have to know that, you have to go out there, because I just, and I have a plug my podcast real quick. Soulful Conversations. You could catch it on YouTube. It's something my brand, Soulofaman504. You tap that in. But I talked to a gentleman, Jeffrey Anderson, Gunther, an amazing actor, and he said that the alignment, the synchronicities are so important. When he did his, when somebody told him, hey man, go check out this play. So he went, he did the play. He saw, when he was a kid, he was in a movie theater with his mom, and he said, hey mom, I want to do that. She said, oh, he's from Jamaica. She was like, oh son, so you want to, so you want to be a street sweeper, and she was, he was like, no, like, no, I want to be an actor. And she was like, all right, cool. And so, he moved to New York. He did this the stage play, and it's interesting how it worked out, because he said he did an interview, long story short, for the New York Times or something. And so he said that something that was said in an interview, and he said the lady who was over the play was the same lady he saw on the screen when he was 5 years old. So you never know the purpose in your life. You see, now we're talking, now we're moving into destiny,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're moving into when Shakespeare says all the world is a stage,
Mm-hmm.
so it is. I'll just say it's yours, baby. It's what you want to do. Like I've written books and my stuff is on Amazon under Devon Alvarez, but am I a New York Times best this or whatever, but I know that it is coming. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I get prepared for the moment. And they say, okay, well, who are you and what have you done? And just like if you're an actor, or an actress, and you've got your acting reel, showing your wide, a range of talents or whatever like that. The
Right.
same thing for me and my books. It's like, okay, well, I've done this, I've written this, I've written that. I've got this out, I've done this and I've done that. So it's better to, we live in a world now where it's better to show people than to tell them. So if I was ill prepared, if I didn't, know whatever, if I was some type of snake oil salesman or some kind of quack coming on here and say, oh yeah, I've been through, I've been to church, and you asking me these questions, and I'm just sitting here quiet, and you're like, say something,
Right.
like yeah,
I would
like
have to
man,
like
this
end
dude,
this.
yeah, like man, you like man, let me hit my homegirl up, man. This dude is crazy.
Girl.
But so the proof is in the pudding, and the actions always are gonna. That's all I'm basically saying is that
Yeah.
your actions are your actions are gonna speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like when you look at your life and all of the things that are yet to come, and how you want to work with magazines and how you want to get yourself out there, and how you have bigger desires. So for you, it's always been a mindset. So if you put your mind to it, then then you can, you're very strong with the
Mm-hmm.
law of attraction. So if you're thinking big, if you're thinking glorious, then that's what's going to happen. And like for
Absolutely.
you in your life, a lot of people, like the people that you're meeting now, these are the people that are going to be there for you. These aren't just like, oh, well, just one and done. We just going to talk and that's it.
Right.
These are, yeah, this is a lifelong. So look, you got to look at it like that, because I always tell you, don't be writing these people off that sometimes that you come into contact with. You never know. Miss Sheila up the street might know somebody that could get you
Yeah.
in somewhere. So if you just, sometimes it's just about reaching out and cultivating things. Like if you want a garden, it needs soil and light and water and
Mm-hmm.
all of that good stuff. But that's what we have to do, and we have to look at the we have to look at the grand finales of our life, or what it was then and what we're moving forward to, in the very, very near future, for a lot of us, because a lot of those doors, it's not, it's some of us are going to go through the back. We're going to sneak up on people, but some of us are going to be able to kick those doors in the front, and and that's going to be able to that, and that's going to tell people who we are and that we're here to stay. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to we're moving now where a lot of us, when I say us, I'd more like the dreamers of the world, because the
Right.
world needs better talent, so to speak, and I'd say a better class of people, but
Yes.
yeah, especially with the music and the writing and all of it, so we're moving, we're moving. It's like that movie The Last Dragon, where he had that glow, so we're
Mm-hmm.
now, that glow is the glow that we had spiritually, and that's when all of our training and everything that we've been through, and it all just starts to click like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. One thing I want to add is we're going to continue to keep the Bible. We're going to keep quoting the Bible a little bit because we don't want to scare anybody away who uses that as um their means to everything. Faith without work is dead. So if you are going to speak life into yourself and into your situation, You have to put forth the effort in order to see the end that you want for yourself. It's not about just sitting back and waiting for somebody else to do the work for you, because our lives, the journeys that we're on, we're by ourselves. Essentially, we're by ourselves
Mm-hmm.
physically. Um, but because of that, we have to put in the work. It's gonna be hard, but that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be on a billboard in Times Square, you got to put forth the effort. In order to be on that billboard in Times Square, you're gonna have to, ruffle up some feathers. You're gonna have to make your voice heard. You're gonna have to put in all that work so that you're seen. Like, what makes you uh worthy of being on the billboard? Yes, you think you are of value and of worth, but does the world see you like that? And unfortunately, we have to think like that because we do live amongst other humans who process things a little bit different. Some see vanity and love the heck out of that. Others see materialistic things and love the heck out of that too. So we gotta work with what we got, because we are the tool that we need to progress. Um, that's how I see things. And I appreciate you for being here with me and giving more insight into the positive and how we could propel ourselves forward just by what comes out of our mouths, the affirmations, and having conversations with our ancestors, our spirit guides, and being able to tap into forms of divination that we're most comfortable with, if that's the path that we want to be on. Because again, we have to be comfortable. This is something that we want for ourselves, or have to want for ourselves. But it also is a testament to not turning down, or like turning a cheek, or however we want to put it, and speaking down on how another person lives their life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
again, karma is a B. Okay, you just saying something bad about somebody can come back to you three, sevenfold, sixfold, eight. You know what I'm saying? It can hit the fan, and you won't even know. Just a matter of what you said or what you did, because something didn't seem right to you. Um, and it's a big thing. We have to get out of our comfort zones, the boxes that we've been placed in. We have the key to get up out of them, and
Yeah, that
it's just a matter of getting up out of them and being okay with that. Again, being uncomfortable does not feel good. It's the reason why it's called being uncomfortable.
right.
But we have to put ourselves there in order to get to another point of being comfortable.
Right, and every and that's true. Like you said, faith without works, faith without works is dead. And when you're
Dead.
talking about dead, you're talking about death, and you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
speak death. This what does it said? Life is life and death is in the power of the tongue. So it's naturally all in what you're. It's all in what you're speaking. It's all
Mm-hmm.
in what you're doing. You have to not just, talk about it, but now it's a time for you to get up and be about it. We
Be about
have,
it.
we have all this information at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a computer, everybody got a phone, some kind of way, or you can borrow a phone from somebody, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't really, well, you don't naturally have to go to the library anymore, because you can just look everything up on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
so, within the sense of it, like you said, you have to have that, you really need to have that belief in that power, that resides within you. And if you're like, well, what y'all are saying is blah 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 blah, I'm gonna just give it to God. Okay, well, God
Perfect.
is gonna get it on His divine desk and be like, okay, well, let me check out. I don't know. Let me check out Monique Jackson. Open up the folders, and the
Mm-hmm.
file where it says action is blank. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like, okay, well, let me just slide this over, and I got to move on to the next person. I get God is omnipresent, but, God ain't no fool either. God ain't and, sometimes He may just give you exactly what you want so that you know what it is. We look at these people who we say have success and money, and, these people are moving, man.
Mm-hmm.
They grinding, they grinding, out there every day, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like, the traveling looks good, but you're not getting sleep. You may not, sometimes you may not be eating properly, and and all of that stuff. But what are you willing, in these times to to give up. Are you
Mm-hmm.
willing to get up every day, put the work in, and go to the gym to change yourself, to
Right.
to feel better, to be healthier, and you can see, now, we have all these social media sites. You can see other people doing it. So, but it's gonna, sometimes it takes time, and that timing comes in just right, and like you said, if you want that billboard to be on Times Square, now is the time to put in the work. What if you're called into a meeting? Let's say if you get an agent and they say, okay, well, who are you? And, what have you done? And these people may not even look like you, but they still
Mm-hmm.
may be there to bless your life, and
Mm-hmm.
in some way, shape, or form, so they may, and you can't, it's best to, like I said, use your discernment, go in there, show them who you are and what you have,
Mm-hmm. And have
and
confidence in yourself.
yeah, have some confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Look them in there. You walking in like Daniel walked when he walked into that
The
lion's den,
last thing.
and them dudes were like, "Oh, well, he's getting too close to the king. We can't
Mm-hmm.
have this. Throw him in there with the lions." And so, they were just listening. They're like, "Man, it's quiet in there." So the king came and they opened up the door. Daniel walks out of there. His hands are like that. He's praying. The lions are just walking around him.
Mm-hmm.
He's petting one of them, and they can't believe it. So,
Mm-hmm.
there are going to be people that are going to be in your life at these times that are just not going to believe little old you from little old wherever you are is doing these
Mm-hmm.
great and amazing things. And some things are in the season. This is definitely going to be moving into a season of revelation
Mm-hmm.
where people are going to see things happen right before their eyes. And, who knows, you may just be a part of it. And,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not going to, understand, like, oh, how, even if you explain it to them, you can explain it to them 1,000 times, they're still not going to get
Yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't understand the tears that you had at night. They don't understand the lack of sleep that you lost. They don't understand, all of the people that you reached out to who, regular folks thought were unattainable,
Mm-hmm.
and if you just say, hey, you look, I got this idea, I'm this, hey, I'm Mr. Such and Such, just, I don't know, give me 20 minutes, so we can talk. And that 20 minutes, you never know. That's, I've met some amazing people. I met like one day it was 2018. I was just here, I was still writing my books and stuff. And I've always heard the story about the lady from the that wrote the Matrix book, Sophia Stewart. And I was
Mm-hmm.
always, and they was like, oh, well, she won her case and she got all this money and blah, 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 blah. And I love the movies. And so I finally got a chance to, read her book. And her number was just online. So I just picked the phone up and called her, and we just sitting there, and within that year, we still talk from time to time. But, but within that year, we had amazing conversations, man.
Right.
And one thing she said was that, and she predicted this too. She was saying, man, Hollywood is going to be changing. They're going to be looking for African Americans to do all these stories. You see it now with Netflix. You see it now, more with Netflix, with
Right.
Amazon. And so what she said came to pass,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thankful, I'm thinking, just the little time I was able to talk to her. So, man, you never know if, but I would say, one thing Chameleonaire said, he said, don't naturally, and who knows, I may be one of those people may reach out to a year or two from now. It's like, oh my God, man, I can't believe you picked the phone up, and man, I've been watching your journey, man, it's amazing, and blah, 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 blah. And you
Mm-hmm.
too, so you never know the situations that you could be in, or that you may find yourself in. But
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, just have a little confidence, just have a little backbone. How you think,
Right.
and that's another way to pay homage to your ancestors that got you to here. And that's a great way to pay homage to, to God that opened up a window and blessed your life, and, and this and that, and, and your angel guides, and so on and so forth. So like you
Right.
said, just having the, just having the, just the spirit of fulfillment of, we can, even if it's just something inside of you that says, you know what, I want to go back to school. I want to change my life. I want to major
Mm-hmm.
in this. And don't think like you're too young, you're too old, or, people think that you got to do it while you're in your teens or your
No.
20s. And, once you hit 30 and that's it, you can't go back to school, you can't do nothing. And then that word can is just that goes into the realm of, something that's definite. We live in a world of infinite. We're still growing, we're still exploring, we're still becoming who we are, who I like to use the word destiny. So we're still becoming, who we are who we are supposed to be. I'm a living testimony. I should have been here. The rest of my story will come out later on. I don't want to bore y'all with it because I know the time. I know the time, and we want to get into the spiritual thing. And some people might say, how do I get started? You can reach out to me. There's a lot. Well, I'm not everybody. You can look at, there are elders out there. We have elders and scholars in the community
Mm-hmm.
that you can reach out to and do a little research. And there are DVDs out now. There are documentaries on
Mm-hmm.
history. And even if you want to look into your genealogy, you can look into all of these things. And and all of these things are just going to naturally help you figure out who you are, and it's just going to help you to open up more of your journey.
Absolutely, and it helps you to learn more of your purpose, your journey, your purpose on your journey. Like, why are
Mm-hmm.
you here? That's the question, why, of course, but it's good to know your purpose and figuring out exactly the reason for you being placed on this earth, not to be a daughter or a son, but there's more to you than the titles that you were given as you got older. Um, I hate that we have to wrap it up, but I love that our takeaways are so deep. One being, again, faith without work is dead, and we don't want to wish death on any of us, not even for ourselves. It's more about life and how can we bring more life to ourselves? How can we enjoy life? Um, what do we have to do in order to create that for ourselves so that this is not hell on earth? Um, what else is there? It's to pay attention to the signs and the symbols and everything that's around you is here for a purpose. It's here for a reason. The things that you're seeing, the feelings, the lucid dreams that you're having, there's meaning behind it. And there are places for you to go and to seek resources and understanding of what you're seeing, how you're feeling, and what you're going through. Because you're definitely not the only one. And that's where, even for myself, I find comfort that I'm not on this journey by myself. I might be doing it alone, but someone else already hit that marker way before
Mm-hmm.
me, and they put it in writing so that I could be there to see and read about it and learn more about the place that I'm in that moment in time, so that then I can also record it too, and then somebody behind me can come up and say, oh, okay, Amelia felt this, Amelia saw this, Amelia did this is how she went about it. And then again, with that word comfort, if it's not comfortable to you, don't continue doing it, because it's just, I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but it's a waste of your energy pretty much. You're not going to put forth any great positive effort. The energy that you're going to exert isn't going to be for the betterment or the fulfillment of the purpose that you are trying to acquire. The billboard that you want to be on. Lighting candles isn't your ministry. Don't light candles. There's someone out there who that is their path. You can ask them to light a candle for you, an intentional candle for you, if their heart is in the right place. And I hope and pray that anybody who is going to enter this path, get on this journey, your heart has to be in the right place. Your intentions have to be good, has to be positive. Because like with anything, there's a positive and a negative, and we're just trying to shed light on the positive because our parents, grandparents, great grandparents already done told us the bad parts about it. So now we got to be the living light and the living positivity with the great energy. Because they did that work already. Um, Another testimony is just loving yourself. Self love is the best love, and if we're manifesting our own breakthroughs, why not love ourselves? Because that's where it starts. And in the spiritual realm, the divination, and it just aids us in the betterment of ourselves and the betterment of self-love, and it shines more light on those who came before us, and it pays odes and the respect and the admiration for those um who's lived their life. They might have gone down some paths that we looking at them a little judgy about, but it's in our genetic makeup. This is who we are. So we have to embrace that and just do right by ourselves, for ourselves, and for our future generations, so that those who come after us won't be looking back at us like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. But those are the takeaways that I feel are important, especially for me on my journey, and for anybody else who's there on their journey as well. Are there any takeaways that you think that we need to shine more light on, so that anyone who's watching this tomorrow, next week, next month, can just fast forward and say, hey, this is what we need to hone in more on, and have more of a direction when they hit either myself or you up with more questions, comments, or concerns.
Right. So you're, the revelations, the discernment of what is to come, which is leading you to your transformation, which is leading to the revolution of who you are going to be. And so, now you're walking more with the strength of your authority. When they say, when Jesus said, "Peace be still." So, you're walking more in your evolutionary authority, because you're still growing, you're still learning, you're still being earnest in who you are. Mm-hmm. No matter how old you are, we're always learning, we're always still becoming who we are supposed to be. So we're here to we're here to shatter the records of those that came, those that came before us. They say that you can look at sports or whatever, we can say, well, man, or writing, we can say, oh man, there'll never be another Maya Angelou. But you are who you are. You are walking in the spirit. We stand on the shoulders of giants. So we are walking, in a spirit of transcendence, of being, of in a state of being who we are, moving forward into the future. Even though we are in an airport, and I'll just leave it like this, we're in the airport of destiny. We're going to different destinations, but we're going, we're traveling now with the first class mentality. We're not sitting in coach back.
Nope.
We're not sitting in, we've been to the back of the bus now. We can sit in the front. So now we're moving to, like they said, the Jeffersons, now's the time to move on up, like George and Wheezy, to that deluxe apartment to the east side. You know what I mean? So, no matter. Yeah, and I just want to leave people, with that parting wisdom, and with that parting, and with that parting knowledge, to know that it happens in reasons, and seasons, and you don't have to stay, and you don't have to stay in a holding pattern with something or someone or some situation, and keep going around and around and around and around. Refresh the browser of your life, change that web page, change your mentality, because you got you still got more work to do, and as we all do.
Absolutely. We're no longer dial up, ladies and gentlemen. We are at high speed.
Right.
We are at high speed. And I'm glad that you made a reference to the airplane, because it's stop placing limitations on ourselves. The sky is not the limit. It's beyond the sky, which is the limit. And they're not even a limit. There's so much more that we could see, that our hands can't touch, that our eyes can't even glare at. So quit placing limitations on yourselves. And another thing that the community has placed upon them that we continue to struggle with is not being satisfied. Let's just be satisfied with what we have right now, please. And if we want more, we have to work towards it, in order to get that, and speak life into ourselves, affirm ourselves. If you want more within your life, affirm yourself, say it, speak it into existence, manifest it. Sir, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you
all
for
the
having
way from
me.
Boston. I thank you. And I appreciate
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. And I love that the conversations that I've had thus far, they're gonna be a part 2, 3, and 4. So please look out for my message. I'm gonna need to bring you right back on so we can continue this conversation.
Oh
Bring
yeah,
it
I'm
down
always
another
down.
path.
Yeah, I'm always down. Yeah, but thank you for having me though.
Of course. This is amazing. Even though I was late, I have an issue being late. That's my problem. So that's why I keep apologizing. I hate when other
Oh, that's
people are
cool.
late. So thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all for viewing. This has been an amazing and enlightening conversation. I did promise in the beginning that there is going to be a chance for you to win this journal with its matching mug. Um, I need you to follow Soulofaman504 as soon as I end this live. Follow, like a few pictures. So I'm gonna need you to let me know, Zaman, who has liked your pictures, who follows you, and then that will be the person who wins this journal and the matching mug.
Okay,
So
cool.
it could be the first person that follows you. It could be the second person that follows you. It's all in your hands.
Okay.
It's all in your hands. So again, it's going to be the opportunity to win this journal and its matching mug. And I will say that the person who the vendor is Sean Perriman. This individual will be speaking with us, I believe, next week, if I'm correct. I can never get my dates right, but yes. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Manifesting Your Own Breakthroughs, episode number 5. We'll be back again next week at 6 p.m. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Again, sir, I thank you so much for being here with me, and I look
No
forward to
problem.
our next conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Until next time, y'all.
All right. Peace, folks.